It's been a long time since we had all the boys on the podcast. It's been a while since we had on the morning show. It's been a while since we had Pigoy on, but we had to bring him on to talk about the Vikings. We'll get right into it. Bears lose fourth straight. Oh, boys, this is tough. This is tough because Nick Foles goes out with an injury late in the game, so I don't even know if Mitch Trubisky will be able to be back next week. That's the biggest concern actually as of right now. Oh no, 2 weeks. We have the bye coming up. We have the Packers actually next. But overall, awful offensive game. The worst offensive game I think I've seen a Chicago Bears team play almost ever, and that's saying a lot. We've had a lot of bad offensive performances. Matt, I know you. We're gonna get to the bad before we get to the good, so we'll get to Pigoy. But I don't even. It was one of the saddest games I ever watched because the defense was playing so well. We had an interception. Khalil Mack was just. I mean, they were all over the quarterback. They give up 19 points when they were pretty much on defense for it had to be 3/4 of the game. The offense just was not. I think we had 4 or 5 3-and-outs in the second half, if not more.
It was 4 straight to start the second half.
Yeah, 4 straight.
And that was 4 straight leading into getting the ball with 6 minutes left, down 6 points.
The defense was gassed.
This is an unforgivable loss for
unforgivable.
Brian
This season's over
for Matt Nagy, for Bill Lazor. Sorry, it was your first, your first performance as a play caller. Did nothing to inspire anything, but this offensive line is absolutely horrendous,
awful.
And I'm sorry it has to start at the top, and who assembled it, and that's Ryan Pace. Ryan Pace has to go. It's no question anymore. I do not want him in charge of a first-round pick for this organization. I don't want him in charge of another second-round pick. I don't want him in charge of another offseason of wheeling and dealing. They need to rebuild this offensive line. They're going to need another quarterback because
where do we go from here?
You blow it up.
No
dude.
quarterback.
You have to blow it up.
We're going to have to go back to Mitch once he's healthy. If we're not, we're going to have to go with Tyler Bray, who I don't even know
Nick
if he
Foles,
knew the plays.
based on the way he looked, Nick Foles getting carted off with that type of an injury, the way it looked, you cannot expect to see him the rest of the season. So you basically have Mitch Trubisky, for another 6 games, and then it's blow this whole damn thing up.
That's if Mitch Trubisky's back in time. Like you said, we're lucky we have the extra week, so we'll kind of have to see what the update is on that. But yeah, Nick Foles most likely out for at least this. You would think the season with the way that injury happened. It did not look good.
If you're remotely on social media, you're going to see the graphic from TV all over the place on Monday of the Bears, drive summary for the first 4 drives was punt.
Look at my
3-and-out.
Look at my Twitter.
And 3-and-out
on
all
TCF.
On all 4 of them. There you go. Follow Zach, you'll see it. And that is just you can't keep a coaching staff, let alone build around a coaching staff that is capable of a performance like that. And that's insanity. And it's not like the Vikings defense, some world-class, elite defense. They're good. They got some good players, but their best players are not on the team this year. Danielle Hunter's not there. And, they got great players that are not on the roster, and they absolutely mauled the Bears offense today. It was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. I mean, this is to the level when Jonathan Quinn was your fucking quarterback, Craig Krenzel's your quarterback. I mean, we're talking output of just pure, pathetic,
awful
performance by the coaching staff, by the quarterback, by the offensive line.
Awful.
And Nick Foles, you know what? We got what we could, and they took a chance. I wasn't a huge fan of the move. I wasn't banking on a lot, but
because
we know what we've got. We know what we've got.
He's loved, but he's really liked by the players. Liked.
And those are the kind of guys. Those are the kind of guys you pay a premium dollar to be a backup quarterback for your team. not $26 million to be your starter.
No.
That's the guy you want in a. You know what the Eagles had for when Carson Wentz was, their projected franchise quarterback.
It all
I don't
sucks.
know. It's just I'm at a loss.
I am too. This
a
defense,
month ago was
you can't say
5-1.
anything about the defense. You can't say anything about the defense. Defense playing as good as they can. Gassed at the end of the game.
Roquan Smith, another great game, by the way, too. I want to shout that out because that guy was unreal again.
The only problem with that is it's a good Ryan Pace draft pick. That's the only thing that sucks about that.
Well, that's his only one.
Yeah. Pigway, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like, you come into the game and the narratives were like, okay, so Cousins sucks on Monday night. Like, this is a spot that he's absolutely not succeeded in.
I mean, come on. He's like 0-10 on Monday night. We're like, oh, congratulations on your first win. It's been like, what, 12 years in the league?
I'm like, those aren't – they're all independent of themselves, though. It's like it's not like some stupid trend. Like, it's just like, okay, yeah, he sucks, but, like, whatever. So, like against the Bears defense, like, he struggled. That's not a secret. He struggled. But, like, the Bears offense, you knew that wasn't going to be very good either. So the only hope you had was to shift the play calling to laser, and that was, I mean, what the hell was that, too?
It didn't look any different. Let's just say that.
That's
the
only
hope.
Did anything seem different to any of you guys?
Yeah, Cordero Patterson returned a kick for a touchdown. That was the only difference.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So I'm looking. So the Bears scored 13 points. They had 2 field goals and a kick return for a touchdown. Their offense had 149 total yards. So, like, I mean,
and how much of that was in the second half? I think they only had I want to say 38 yards in the second half, I believe.
I doubt it was more than that.
That sucks a lot.
Yeah, like, the Vikings thing is cool. I mean, their defense isn't good.
But that was you just beat an awful team. Not even.
So you're awful.
You can't. The offense
that's the thing.
The defense
is so good.
All you got to
so
do is score.
Too.
You just got to score. You score one time, you can beat this team because this offense cannot score a touchdown right now.
Yeah,
they can't score a touchdown.
The Vikings, if you can, I mean, if they
don't get me wrong, the Bears
24 points, they're not going to win a game. So
the Bears play good defense in terms of holding you to a field goal. Like they'll clamp down inside the red zone and usually don't go with the big score. But if they get a couple field goals and a nice touchdown or two. The big catch from Adam Thielen, and all of a sudden you got 17 points, and this team ain't scored 14 against anybody.
Dude, get some chunk plays on, like, you get, a 7-point drive, a 3-point drive, a 3-point drive. Like, it's tough. It's tough for this.
It sucks. That's the definition. That's the motto for the night. It sucked. It just sucked. It sucked to watch. Everything sucked about tonight because nothing went right. A few things went right. Khalil Mack got an interception. He was getting after Kirk Cousins. And then guess what? Akeem Hicks gets hurt. Who knows when he'll be back? It looked like was it hammy?
What was that? Do we know?
I think it was a hammy.
I don't know. I thought ankle. I thought they said ankle, but I could be wrong.
Maybe it was ankle. Either way, did not return. And that you just see, he's the Khalil Mack, amazing player. All amazing players, but without Akeem Hicks, that defense does not go. We've seen it last year, and we saw it this year.
Well, you saw Dalvin Cook's most production of the night was when
he was not in there.
Hicks was not on the field. Yeah. So it was pretty apparent.
Hey, and just like quickly thinking about it and kind of some of the notes I had kind of jotted down with Kirk Cousins anyway, like you guys all said, he's not – he is what he is. But I felt like in the way you guys talked about it was they're not trying to do – like the big things, like they're like even their touchdowns were small, 12, 15-yard plays at max. Like they're not trying to, shoot for the stars here. It's just like I don't know what to expect of the Vikings because, like we said, they started 1-5 and they've won 4 cents or something like that. So I don't know what to take out of the Vikings. If they can continue just to let Kirk Cousins do the little things, I don't know, man. They're hard to get a read on.
They want to run the ball. And everybody knows it. So it's like it's your job to stop it. And Cook had over 100 yards. It was over his his prop. I know that it was 88.5 was his prop, so he had over 80
Yeah,
and a half
96
rushing
rushing and
so
16
they-
receiving.
Yeah, so they want to run the ball like to a fault. So if you can stop and you can get Cousins off of his first read, that's how you beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
Because he's so reliant on his first read. You can see it all night. Like he would play action.
Or you
You
just
see
have
his
an
first
offense
read
that
wasn't
can do
there.
anything.
Shit his pants.
Yeah.
An offense that can do anything. Anything.
It's got to be so frustrating to be a Bears defensive player right
Or
now.
fan.
I've seen him.
Oh,
Those guys are going. No, yeah, obviously, but I'm just saying the guys on the field, like those guys on defense. I mean, you give up 19 points. You should win most NFL games. You give up 19 points.
right.
That sucked. That
I
sucked.
got
Bears-
nothing.
I've said
I-
it. I've said it a million times. I know it, but
something today.
that was awful. I don't know what you say about that. Got a bye week. You don't have to watch them next week. And we're on to the Packers, I guess.
Is
Great.
that in,
That'll be fun.
Be awesome. Can't wait. Yeah. What else? What did you have to say, Pigway?
is that in Green Bay or is it in Chicago?
That is
Not
in
sure.
Green Bay.
Fortunately for that vaunted Green Bay defense, they only get a worse offense than Jacksonville the following week.
Yeah, maybe the Bears will have a run. If the Bears can find a running back by then, you might have a chance.
They had a freaking wide receiver playing running back for
Yeah.
tonight.
They got Cordero. They got
Why-
Cordero
why-
Patterson.
Why have Lamar Miller there if you're not going to use him as a running back?
Real quick, I'm going to sidetrack from how bad the Bears are. Equally as bad as that Monday Night Football booth. That booth is god awful.
I like
Man.
Riddick. I like him,
I like Riddick, and that's it.
but he knows his shit though. Like he's the only one that knows
Riddick knows his shit. Levy's an idiot.
He won't,
Levy
So
at one
high.
point.
he won't
Levy
say
at one
really the
point
truth
was-
about the Bears, though.
No, Levy at one point, he doesn't know football. At one point said an excellent 55-yard punt that resulted in a touchback. Like, come on, dude.
Awful.
I
It
miss
was an
Booger.
excellent punt. Booger was way better.
Oh yeah,
If Greasy sucks too. Greasy was like,
Yeah,
how,
Greasy
it's
sucks.
gonna be. Greasy said at one point it was gonna be tough for the Vikings to come back in this environment. There's no fucking crowd of soldiers. Dude.
And there's no wind.
There's this ruckus environment along
there's
the way.
no fans.
The Bears were 2
Oh,
of 11 on third downs.
Unbelievable.
We're gonna end it up.
I
We'll
hate-
end that
I
this
hate-
segment. We're gonna
I
end it on
hate
that.
everyone tonight. Everyone.
Yep. Awful.